Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt genuinely bored? You know, that moment where you have nothing to do, nowhere to be, and no distractions. Boredom is something most of us avoid like the plague. We grab our phones, scroll through social media, binge-watch Netflix, or fill our time with endless tasks just to escape that uneasy feeling of having nothing to do. But what if I told you that boredom isn't something to fear? What if I told you that boredom is actually good for you? In fact, it might just be one of the most underrated tools for boosting creativity, self-awareness, and mental health. In a world where we're constantly connected, boredom has become a rare experience. Yet, it's precisely what we need more of. Today we're going to dive deep into why boredom is not only good for you, but how you can use it to your advantage. By the end of this video, you'll start seeing boredom as a superpower that can unlock some pretty amazing things in your life. Why we avoid boredom, the myth of constant stimulation. Before we get into why boredom is good for you, let's talk about why we're so desperate to avoid it. We live in a world where there's constant stimulation. Between social media, YouTube, video games, and instant messaging, there's always something to grab our attention. Our brains have become conditioned to crave this instant gratification, which makes the idea of sitting with nothing to do feel almost unbearable. We've been tricked into thinking that being busy and constantly entertained is a good thing. But the truth is, all this non-stop stimulation comes with a cost. When we're constantly distracted, we're not giving our minds the space they need to process, reflect, or even rest. We're filling every empty moment with something, anything, to avoid the discomfort of stillness. And that's exactly why we've lost touch with the power of boredom. Here's the thing. Boredom might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's only because we've forgotten how to be bored. Once you get past the initial discomfort, boredom opens the door to all kinds of benefits. Things like creativity, clarity, and even personal growth. But you have to be willing to sit with it. And that's where the magic happens. Why boredom is actually good for you. So, what's so great about boredom? Why should you embrace it instead of running away from it? Let's break it down. 1. Boredom boosts creativity. One of the biggest benefits of boredom is that it makes space for creativity. When you're constantly bombarded with information, entertainment, and tasks, your brain doesn't have the room it needs to think freely. It's too busy processing external input to wander into the realm of creativity. But when you're bored, when you're not distracted by your phone, a TV show, or a million other things, your mind starts to wander. This mind wandering is where some of your best ideas come from. Think about it. How many times have you had a great idea while you were in the shower, taking a walk, or just staring out the window? That's because your brain finally had the time and space to let its creativity flow. In fact, studies have shown that boredom can lead to more creative problem solving. When your mind is free to explore, it starts making connections and generating new ideas. So, the next time you're feeling bored, resist the urge to reach for your phone. Instead, let your mind wander. You might just come up with your next big idea. 2. Boredom helps you recharge. We often think that in order to be productive, we need to be constantly doing something. But here's the thing, your brain isn't designed to be on all the time. Just like your body needs rest, so does your mind. Boredom gives your brain a chance to slow down, rest, and recharge. When you allow yourself to be bored, you're giving your brain the downtime it needs to process information, reflect, and recover from mental fatigue. In a world where burnout is becoming more common, boredom can actually be a form of self-care. It's a way to press pause, step back, and let your mind rest so that when it's time to focus again, you're sharper and more productive. 3. Boredom encourages self-reflection. One of the most underrated benefits of boredom is that it encourages self-reflection. When you're constantly distracted by external stimuli, it's easy to avoid thinking about your own life, your goals, your emotions, your challenges. Boredom forces you to confront those thoughts. When you allow yourself to be bored, you start thinking about things you may have been avoiding. You begin to reflect on your experiences, your relationships, and your decisions. This kind of introspection is essential for personal growth. It's through self-reflection that you gain clarity about who you are, what you want, and what you need to change in your life. Think about it. When was the last time you allowed yourself to just think without distractions? Boredom provides the mental space for that, and in turn, helps you grow as a person. How to use boredom to your advantage. Now that we know why boredom is good for you, let's talk about how to use it, because let's be real, embracing boredom in a world full of distractions isn't easy. But with a little practice, you can turn boredom into one of your most valuable tools for creativity, self-awareness, and productivity. Here's how to do it. 1. Create space for boredom. The first step to using boredom is to actually create space for it in your life. That might sound counterintuitive, but in a world where we're always connected, you have to be intentional about giving yourself moments of stillness. Start by scheduling short periods of time where you're not allowed to do anything. No phone, no TV, no distractions. Just sit with yourself. You might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's part of the process. Over time, you'll get used to it, and you'll start to notice how your mind wanders and how new ideas emerge. You can also embrace boredom by incorporating more boredom-friendly activities into your life. Things like taking a walk, journaling, or simply sitting outside can create the mental space needed for your brain to wander freely. 2. Put away the devices. One of the biggest barriers to boredom is technology. Our phones, computers, and TVs are always within arm's reach, ready to pull us out of even the slightest moment of boredom. But if you want to tap into the benefits of boredom, you need to put the devices away. Try a digital detox. Start small, maybe just 30 minutes a day where you put your phone on airplane mode and do nothing. You'll be amazed at how much mental clarity you gain from just a short break from technology. 3. Use boredom to solve problems. The next time you're feeling stuck on a problem, whether it's at work, in your personal life, or creatively, try getting bored. Instead of forcing yourself to sit in front of the problem and come up with a solution, step away from it. Let yourself be bored. Go for a walk, stare out the window, or just sit with your thoughts. As I mentioned earlier, boredom creates space for creative problem solving. By giving your brain time to wander, you might find that the solution comes to you when you least expect it. 4. Practice mindfulness through boredom. Boredom can also be an excellent opportunity to practice mindfulness. Instead of seeing boredom as something to avoid, see it as a chance to be present with yourself. The next time you feel bored, try to focus on the moment. Notice your thoughts, your surroundings, and how you're feeling. By being mindful during moments of boredom, you can develop a deeper awareness of yourself and your emotions. This mindfulness can lead to greater mental clarity and emotional balance in your day-to-day life. Embrace the power of boredom. So there you have it. Boredom isn't something to run from, it's something to embrace. In a world that's constantly demanding your attention, boredom is the break your brain needs to recharge, get creative, and reflect on your life. It's not about doing nothing, it's about giving your mind the freedom to explore without distraction. The next time you catch yourself feeling bored, resist the urge to reach for your phone or fill the time with meaningless distractions. Instead, lean into it. Let your mind wander. Allow yourself to get comfortable with boredom, and you'll be amazed at the insights, ideas, and creativity that start to flow. Boredom might just be the superpower you never knew you had, so use it wisely.